today I'm going to share with you 15 tips on how you can save money on your groceries. So just keep in mind, I live in Australia, so all the prices in today's video are in Australian dollars. So now let's hop into the 15 tips. Tip number 1, before you even go shopping at the store, go shopping at home first. Look in your kitchen, through your pantry, fridge, freezer, wherever you keep food, and just see what you already have. You may discover that you don't have to go grocery shopping yet because you already have enough ingredients at home to make your meals, or you may just be able to take a mental note of what you already have at home so that you're planning your future meals around not just those newly purchased ingredients, but also those older ingredients that you already have, so that way you're using both. Tip number 2 is to be prepared when you go grocery shopping. So of course, one way to do this is to make a list and stick to it as much as possible. So you can easily make your list by following tip number 1 and looking through your home to see what you do and do not have before you even go to the store. Another way you can be prepared is by going on a full stomach so you don't get hungry at the store and get cravings. Otherwise, you'll probably go to buy things that aren't on your shopping list and that probably aren't that great for you. Tip number 3 is to shop alone. So this is especially important if you have children. So if you can, try and avoid bringing your children to the shops with you, because you know that they're going to make you spend money on things that aren't essential and probably aren't that great for them. And in general, just avoid bringing anyone with you who's going to make you spend money on things that you just don't need. Tip number 4 is to avoid going down certain aisles in the store. So if you know a certain product tempts you at the store, try and avoid going down the aisle where that product is, or at least to that section where the product is sold, so that way you avoid buying them as much as possible. So one tempting item for me is pretzels. I really like snacking on them, but I know that aren't great for me and I don't want to waste my money on them. So I try my best to avoid going down the aisle where the pretzels are sold, so that way I just forget about them completely or avoid buying them that way. Tip number 5, similar to tip number 4, is to avoid buying items with little or no nutritional value. So products like snacks, lollies, chips, biscuits, soft drink, and cakes, try and avoid them as much as possible because they really aren't that great for you and they do add up quite a bit. So what I usually do when I go shopping is I skip the first 3 to 4 aisles because I know that they're probably filled with items that aren't really that great for us. Here and there is fine, but not often. So for us, we usually purchase these products only when we have a party or some people coming over. Otherwise, we try and avoid them altogether. Number 6, buy store branded products. So in Australia, we have 2 popular stores. We have Coles and Woolworths, and within their stores, they have their own branded products. So these products are usually a lot cheaper than other brands. Usually store branded products are not that easy to find, so you might have to fish your way through the aisle a little bit to find them. So they're usually not at eye level and they're probably not going to be at the top. They'll most likely be at the bottom of the aisle, or they'll be in some other awkward position. So make sure you look around carefully so you get the home brand, because it's a lot more cheaper, as I said, and there's really little or no difference most of the time between each of the products. So if we look at pasta, for example, this is a spiral pasta, and there are many brands for pasta out there, but the Coles brand is a lot more cheaper than the San Remo brand, for example. The same thing goes for coconut milk, cans of tomato, legumes, olive oil, and even toilet paper. So most of the products that I purchase at the store will be home branded products. Number 7, eat less meat. Yep, I said it, eat less meat, because meat is one of the most expensive things on my grocery bill. So I recommend that you try and cut down on meat wherever possible. Try and substitute your meats with cheaper protein-based foods, such as legumes like lentils, chickpeas, beans, or you can even substitute your meat with eggs. You can even just learn to make more vegetarian dishes. And yes, vegetarian dishes can taste good. Tip 8, check the cost per unit on a product. So this is the cost per 100 grams, 100 milliliters, etc. So usually the brand or the size of the product will affect how much the cost per unit will be. So let's look at the Coles branded jasmine rice, for example. For 5 kilos of jasmine rice, it is 25 cents per 100 grams. But if we look at the 1 kilo of jasmine rice, it is 41 cents per 100 grams, a little bit dearer. But then if we look at the 250 gram jasmine rice, keep in mind this is microwavable, so it's a lot more convenient. It is $1 per 100 grams. What? That is a huge jump, okay? So you know what I'm gonna buy? I'm getting the 5 kilo. So just make sure that you're checking the cost per unit on the items that you're purchasing, so that way you can get the cheapest option possible. Number 9 is to compromise your planned meals based on store specials. So if you're planning to make fish with veggies one night, but the fish is on special, however the steak is, replace the fish with the steak. Number 10, buy markdown meat, as it is far more cheaper than the original price. And if you do buy it, make sure you use it right away or freeze it right away, so that you're pretty much extending the expiry date by a few weeks or months. However, once you do defrost it, make sure you use it right away. Tip 11, buy frozen fruit and veggies when they're out of season, as they're probably a lot more cheaper than the fresh ones. Tip number 12 is to buy fruits, veggies, nuts, even herbs and spices from the fruit market or from other ethnic stores, as they're probably a lot more cheaper than popular branded stores by even a quarter or even half the price sometimes. A little bonus, usually in the fruit market, there's a section where they have really marked down products. So they can have fruit, veggies, even other products in the store that have just been marked down either because they're out of date or they're about to be expired. So I like to look in this section first to see if I can find any fruits and veggies that are still in a pretty good condition, so that I can save money here also. Tip number 13 is to be more self-sufficient. So if you have the space, you can grow your own fruits, veggies, and herbs. You don't need to grow a whole farm. You can just grow some of the ingredients that you use the most often. Even if you're not a big gardener, you can easily regrow some veggies within just water. So I was cooking with bok choy and green onion last week, and I just cut off the bottoms of them, and then I placed them in some water, and then they regrew within just a few days. Tip number 14, control your portions. So of course, by eating less, you are able to save more money because you're not running out of food as quickly. And tip number 15, go shopping less often. So try and go shopping every 2 weeks to a month and buy as much as you can so that it lasts you as long as possible. My husband always says that if you go out, you're more likely to spend money. So try and go out less in general, so that way you're saving money and time. By applying even just a few of these tips today, you'll be able to save money on your groceries. So I hope you found this video helpful, and if you enjoyed this content, make sure you subscribe so you can see more like this. Remember to love others and yourself, and I'll see you next time.